What is going on, everybody? Ray McKenna here. For any that don't know me, I've been in the fitness industry for 17 years ago. I started to study. 12 years I've been working in the trenches. I've got 2 masters in sports nutrition, sports physiology, and sports training, which is the new form of strength and conditioning. What I wanted to share with you today was an amazing study that has been just released in the United States by, I think it was the American Heart Association. Now, in this study, what they done was, it was epidemiology studies. So they looked at a decade of research on fasting in an 8-hour window versus 8 hours plus window, right? Now, they done something like, I think it was 10 or 20,000 participants. They done surveys, went and done looked into food journals, questionnaires, and that kind of stuff. Now, the first thing you want to look into, food journals, questionnaires, and stuff like that are not really relevant in scientific evidence, because you're probably like me. We're all probably the same. Is any of us honest around our food intake? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. But I know that they're not really accepted in good scientific evidence, right? So the other thing about these studies is that they didn't actually control the nutrition or calories intake of the participants, or have a controlled exercise intervention inside of the participant, right? Now, what I mean by that is basically a good scientific paper, and based on my opinion and many, would have a good exercise intervention of controlled exercise to measure the intensity that the people are probably training at, and being having somebody supervise the individuals would be really great research, and possibly have somebody like a really good registered dietitian or a good nutritionist actually being able to control probably the energy intake, which this has been seen in Kevin Hall's work, where they put people into a metabolic chamber for 28 days and was able to control the energy intake in the individuals. They were able to control the meal plans, they were able to control everything, and they done ultra processed versus just not non-processed kind of foods for 14 days ultra processed, 14 days non-processed, but they did match sodium, potassium, protein, carbohydrates, fats, fibre, all that kind of stuff. But what happened was, the people at the ultra processed foods, I think they get an extra 400 or 500 calories ad libitum, which goes to show that when you eat foods that are highly palatable, highly tasty, your chances of overeating them are a little bit more. It doesn't mean carbohydrates are bad. It doesn't mean fats are bad. It doesn't mean that you're not allowed to go to McDonald's. It doesn't mean that you're not allowed to go to Five Guys. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you can easily, excessively overeat calories from certain foods, depending on what calories they are, alright? Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't go on to a rigid diet because of this. Continue what I'm going to say. So, when you look into, say, most of these kind of studies, if you get most people in an 8-hour window of fasting, my opinion, after coaching thousands of people and working with loads of different people throughout the world and digging into the research for the last decade on lifestyle and behaviour changes too, and read all the fasting studies that's nearly out there today, here's my opinion. People will fast because they want to binge. They want to have a binge in the evening. They want to sit down, and then when they turn to that binge in the evening, they eventually overeat, consistently overeat, and then what happens is it's really hard to get out of that. So the fasting becomes a binge. So it's not the fasting, it's not the 8-hour window, it's not the foods that you're eating, it's the binge that comes from it, right? So therefore, maybe some of these 10,000 participants the last 10 years were binging in the evening. What were they doing outside of different stuff? Makes sense. What were they doing when they were left to their own devices? Makes sense, because it's hard to control people for a couple of months, couple of weeks. And I went 10 years, but let's break it down a little bit more. Now, the thing is, if you looked into that, and then the other ones that were eating through a longer duration window, which, when you look into it, I would say somebody that eats breakfast, lunch, dinner would have good behaviours. The reason why I believe that is because I'm sure them individuals are eating probably a 600-700 calorie meal or something in the morning, feeling satiated, feeling good, probably going out, energized throughout the day. they're possibly eating a good lunch, they're not like binging, overeating, caught like thinking of food all day long, and constantly their whole life is being taken over by food and what they're going to eat next, and fantasizing over what foods they're going to eat next. On track, off track, on track, off track. So I sometimes believe that, and if you look into the scientific literature on it, that people that actually go on to fasting is another way also to just actually get control into a certain window where they can just binge and overeat and eat these big huge meals all the time. But that's up to you. If that works for you, keep doing it. So what to not look into from this paper, which is inside of my stories, is that 8-hour window of fasting is very, very beneficial. 16 hours is very beneficial of eating. But you want to know what's really beneficial, ladies and gentlemen? Finding a diet that works for you. Finding a nutrition plan that works for you. Finding something that aligns with your lifestyle. Finding something where you are not food focused and you are actually away from being food focused and just enjoying what you're doing, but also achieving the results that you want. Because ketogenic diets work, paleo diets work, whatever, carnivore diets, gut health diets. To me, it's just all physiology. I just understand the physiology of how humans burn fat, get healthy, all that kind of stuff. Boom. So it's like that all these works, but it's like the one that you can stay consistent to and adherent over a long duration of time is the one that's probably going to work for you. The one that you can do wherever you are in the world and stay on track with that and stay with it and have good confident choices in around the foods that you're eating. Be confident in around the training that you're doing. This is the one that's going to work, you know? Because if you look at all these fastings and all these other ways, like your body doesn't just like, your body has like a 24-hour body clock, right? But it also has a week body clock. And this is where a lot of people can go wrong, unfortunately. Do you ever notice where, like, let's step into reality here for a little bit, folks. Do you ever notice where you're probably on this plan, right? And then before you know, you're doing the diet, you're all in, you're ready for it, you're a couple of weeks in, you're stuff like that, and you're just waiting for this big huge binge, and then all of a sudden, you probably fall off, say on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you binge, and then you say, fuck it, one more. Let's have one more, go out. This the last pizza, the last ice cream, and then I'm back on it tomorrow. If you think them calories just go out and just go missing or just get lost and you do that, under no circumstances do they. Because lipogenesis, which is the conversion of fat to fat, like consistently just keeps happening and happening and happening. That energy either has to be stored or it has to come out through carbon. Makes sense? It has to come out. So I don't know where it's going to come out. So don't fool yourself by thinking that you just go on these binges all the time. Now, I'm speaking to probably people that are like me. Like, my name was Fat Ray for years. So, like, if I overeat for even a couple of weeks, like, I get fat. I don't know about you. I get really fat. Like, I can get really, really big in a couple of weeks. So, maybe you're different and maybe you can do what you want. And fair play to you. Continue to do that. But I'm speaking to the people that are probably looking to lose weight, have a stronger vitality, have a better relationship with food. Look at fitness as something that's enjoyable, realistic and sustainable over a long duration of time and not wanting to fall off track all the time. These are the kind of people that I'm speaking to right now. So just think about it. Key takeaways of this is, number one is, fasting is not going to give you any dangerous effects whatsoever. Fasting, when you do it and you set yourself up easy, something that's sustainable and doesn't give you an eating disorder or forces you to binge, is a very, very positive and beneficial way for you to set yourself up for success over a long duration of time. Does fasting be eating 3 to 4 meals a day? No, it does not. It's about understanding the calories that you're taking in every single day is very important. Understanding the macro and micronutrients, the hydration, the sleep, the feeling full, satiated, recovering from your workouts, enjoying your life. Any questions, let me know and I'll speak to you all soon.